Hello, welcome to your first day in Pre-AP English 1. My name is Michelle Weston, and I'm going to walk you through the steps of today's lesson. Today, we're just going over policies and procedures and getting to know a little bit about the expectations in the Pre-AP English class. So if you are remote, you should be starting off your day every day here in Google Classroom. You will come to the stream here, the very first page. You'll see stream up here at the top. And this right now is not posted, but it will be posted in the morning. You just click on the stream and read what the announcement is. Here I've given you instructions on what you need to do. You're to click on the link below, which will take you to the Google site for Pre-AP English 1 to receive your instructions and directions for today's assignments. Once you are at the Google site, you will click on the Unit 1 Survival, and from the drop-down menu, you will select the week of August 20th through 21st. As you work your way through the instruction, you will be required to do some assignments. All assignments will be posted here in Google Classroom. Click on the classwork button at the top of the screen and you will find the topic week 1, August 20th through the 21st. And I have dated each assignment so you will know which one you should be working on each day. If you have any problems or questions, please message me or email me. So all daily assignments will be pushed out each morning. We will not have assignments for the week, so you will have to keep checking back each day, and you must show that you have done some engagement each day to be counted present. Okay, so I'm going to click on this link here, and it's going to take me to the Google site. This is the Pre-AP English 1 Google site. Here is the home page. It will just give you some information about the class and about me. We have learners' expectations, and you can read through those. Those are for all learners. Also expectations for remote and face-to-face learners as well. So you can please read through those. And if you have any questions, please ask me. So as the directions said in Google Classroom, we're to go click on Unit 1 Survival, and the drop-down menu, we have August 20th through the 21st. I'm going to click on that. And as you can see for this week, since it's a short week, it's only 2 days. Here's Thursday. You will see the agenda here listed here, and you just kind of go through these steps. Over here will be where I will post this video. I won't always have a video, but I'm going to try as much as I can to post a video. And here are the slides. So the slides that I'm going through today in the video are going to be here. So you can choose to listen to the video and go through the slides with me, or you can go through the slides by yourself. All right, so on our agenda, it tells us to click on the daily slide presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and see what number 2 says. Go to Google Classroom to complete the warm-up in Google Forms. So I probably don't know what that's about, so it's best I go to the Google Slides and see what information is here. So here's the introductory slide, and here is the warm-up page. This is what students in face-to-face will see as well. This is our first slide as you walk into the room. I will talk a little bit more about it, but you'll see your agenda, your objective, and your warm-up. So right now, what I need for you to do is to carefully read the warm-up, read the statement, the questions, what it's asking you to do, and then go ahead and go to Google Classroom. There is a Google form. It is dated and labeled for you, and you will complete that for your warm-up for today. So take a moment to pause the video and complete your warm-up. Okay, so moving on, hopefully you have taken your time to complete that warm-up. So classroom rules and procedures. I have posted in Google Classroom a Google form that goes through these policies and rules and procedures. I've also posted the Pre-AP and AP contract that you will sign each year. So please make sure you and your parents read through both those documents. initial by checking the little boxes for parent and student, and acknowledges that you have read each section and that you agree to abide by those rules and expectations for both the pre-AP and AP classes. Okay, so to go through some of the information on those documents, let's start off with the newsletter. Like I said, you will receive, and you will only have to do this through a Google form if you're remote. If you're a student in person, you can get a hard copy. And I would like for those to be completed by Thursday, the 27th. If I do not get anything by, sorry. If I don't see that students in person are filling out the Google form, by Monday, I will hand out a paper copy for those parents to do. So our number one concern here is, of course, health and safety. And with COVID, it's important that we remember that everything needs to be done with our health and safety in mind. So it's important that you follow these new rules and guidelines for us while we're in this pandemic. So when possible, when you're at school, if you're remote and you do come to school, we always want to keep 6 feet away from people as possible. Wear masks. It is required to do that on the bus and on campus. Wear an ID. Do not move your desk. Sit in your assigned seat only. Stay seated. We don't want to limit the contact of students. And if you need to get out of your seat, you need to raise your hand and wait for permission before you're allowed to get up. And of course, always wash your hands. So that will be a good one for remote students as well at home. So classroom rules. Your duties are to be responsible, respectful, and positive. And this is both for in-person and remote students. Attend class regularly, of course, face-to-face. I love getting to see you every day. Remote, you definitely need to stay responsible and keeping up with your engagement each day to prove your attendance. Be in class on time. Wear masks and IDs in school. Be prepared for class. Do not leave your classwork or homework in your locker. To meet all deadlines, all assignments are due at the beginning of each class on the due date. Remote students, you will follow due dates posted in Google Classroom. There may be times where you're a little behind us, but you have those deadlines and there are times posted that those have to be. If you do not meet those timelines, your work will be counted late or a zero if you do not turn it in. And make sure you do your own work, no cheating. Please hold yourself to an honor code. Respectful, everyone needs to respect everyone's space, especially now. We really want to respect everyone's personal space. There's no sharing supplies because of COVID. Acknowledge and respond politely to each other, always using manners, and continuously use appropriate language and tone of voice. So with remote students, there may be times where we're collaborating on a document or in a blog, and you will need to make sure that your writing is keeping in with that appropriate language and tone. Do not pressure others into giving you their work to copy, and we use your electronic devices only for learning. Positive, be actively involved in learning, display non-disruptive behavior, make sure you complete your own work, have a positive attitude in all things you do to learn and grow. Consequences. So if we choose to break these rules, as we know, all actions have choices have consequences. So your first time, you will get a verbal warning. After that, there is the written documentation on the tracking form and an email to parents or guardians. The third time, again, another document on the tracking form of parents and guardians. There is a conference. Conferences will be a little different this year. They will be virtual, and you can set those up with the school. And if you do not have a device in which you can virtually conference with your child's teacher, you can come to the school for the conference, and we will just have a virtual conference in separate rooms at the school. The fourth time, it is an office referral. Students who display severe behavior that disrupts the learning environment will be sent immediately to the office. And students who display positive behavior and whose efforts contribute to the learning environment will receive positive rewards. So, like I said, we did when we opened up the slide, we saw the warm up and the agenda slide for the day. So, like I said, the first thing you want to do is come in and open up the slides or walk into the room, and I want you to read the agenda and see what the expectations or things you have to do. Then, of course, we're going to read through the objective. I will describe the person or describe the person you want to someday you want to be someday and review class policies and procedures. So that's what you're expected to accomplish today in class. And then over here will be the more specific guides for the warm up. So always be sure to go in that order: agenda, objective, and then get busy on your warm up. Okay. And again, remote students, your warm ups will be a Google form that will be posted every day in Google Classroom. If you get done early and you're in class and other students are and time is not up, please do not be disruptive. Find something else to do. And make sure you do, when you come in the room, even if the bell hasn't rung, you go ahead and you are getting ready for class. So when you're writing warm-ups, I do have some expectations when you're doing it. I want to make sure you're always putting out your very best work, always, even in writing. I expect your responses to be well thought out and written with complete sentences to show complete thoughts. Detailed and specific as possible. Remember, vague writing can leave your reader confused and bored. And don't just answer the prompt, but always try to expand beyond the topic if you have time. So just if I say, how was, your weekend, I don't want you to say it was fine. I mean, expand on that. What happened? What did you do? What did you see? So for example, here's a warm-up prompt. Who is someone you spent a lot of time with this summer? So if you wrote a response in line, my family, I would definitely not give you credit. That's too vague, incomplete. And remember, we are in pre-AP English, so the standards are set there for you to be writing as a pre-AP student. Here's another sentence. I spent a lot of time with my cousin. Okay, so it got a little bit more specific. It is a complete sentence, but it lacks any kind of detail. Now look at this response. I know students who see it will be like, oh my gosh, that is just so long. It's not that long, but it does help paint a picture in my mind as I read it, and it's not boring. I'm engaged, I'm captured. This summer was unlike any summer I have had, and I hope it never repeats. I spent most of my summer with my cousins in Conroe. My aunt and uncle live on the lake, and I stayed at their house almost the entire summer because my mom had COVID and my dad worked from home. They did not want me to be exposed to the virus, so they decided to let me stay with my aunt and uncle. Although I did have a good time with my cousins swimming on the lake and camping on the property, I missed my parents and worried about their health and who would care for them if both got sick. Luckily, my mom got well and I came home last week. It felt great to be home and back in my comfy bed. So as you can see, I can see so much. I can see the lake. I can see the campfire. I can see the concern, the worry of the student about their parents. So go beyond the prompt. Be specific and grab my attention. Make me interested in your writing. Okay, absent work, late work. You're responsible for completing all your work that you miss while you're absent. Being absent does not excuse you from the work. You're still responsible for getting it and completing it. And if you do not, you will receive a 0. A good place for face-to-face students to find their absent work is going to be Google Classroom, since remote students are doing the same work. But you should always check with me just in case and make sure you have everything you need. However many days you've missed is how long you have to make up work. So if you were absent for 2 days, you have 2 days to turn in an assignment. If you're absent on the day of the test, you must come in to morning or afternoon tutorials to make up the test, and that needs to be done within 3 days. Late work will be accepted for 1 day late for a reduction of 30 points. So pre-AP, you only have 1 day to turn in an assignment in late. After that, it will be a 0. Grading policy. All assignments are expected to be turned in on time, or again, remote students need to pay close attention to the due dates in Google Classroom. Pre-AP students are allowed, like I said, or just on the slide before, 1 day late for no higher than a 70. After the late grade date, the assignment will receive a 0, and grades are broken down 60 and 40%. So major grades like tests, projects, major writing assignments, reports, those will count 60% of your grade. And then daily assignments, quizzes, journals, those will count as 40% of your grade. Leaving class. So you need to stay into your seat until the bell rings. Nobody's going to line up at the door. You need to always be aware when you're leaving of social distancing. Try not to crowd each other. Please help keep the classroom clean. Do not leave any trash around your desk. Bathroom procedures are going to be a little different, again, because we're trying to limit contact among students. You cannot use the bathroom during the last 20 minutes of class or during instruction. With bathroom passes, you may be able to go to the bathroom during the first 20 minutes of class. You will have a limited number of bathroom passes, so you need to use them wisely. You will have 3 per 9 weeks. You must leave your phone in the basket when you go, when you sign out, and pick it up when you sign in. And I will actually be signing you out and signing in, so you will not have to touch any papers or do anything with that. So passing periods and lunch are going to be the best time for you to go to the restroom. Technology, there is a no phone zone unless we're using for learning purposes. This is your only warning. If I see it out, I don't give warnings. I just go ahead and take your phone. If you're on your phone when you shouldn't be, you'll be asked to turn your phone into your teacher. The first time, I will return it to you at the end of the day. And any other time after that, I will turn it into the office, and your parents will have to come pick it up. Chromebooks are available if we need to use technology in class and you don't have a phone. Just remember, Chromebook rules apply. Be prepared. So face-to-face students will be issued a consumable that they have to bring to class every day. So you need to be considering using maybe your locker, figuring out how to use that, where it is, and when would be a good time to pick up books to make it to class on time. Online students, remote students, you will be accessing the textbook through Clever. It is Savas. If you log into your Clever and you go to the district app section and just click on Savas, listed there, it should log you right in. There may be a couple steps for you to sign in, like picking a icon. I think it's really simple, real easy, but then after that, you should be able to get into the student book and see assignments and classwork and the actual text. You will need a composition notebook for this class. This is where we will use for weekly warm-ups and journaling. So please make sure you have that by Monday, a composition book. Remote students, again, your warm-ups and writing assignments will be posted in Google Classroom to be completed and turned in. You'll need a folder for this class with 3 prongs and a pocket. Bring a pen or a pencil to class every single day. Other supplies you'll need: colored pencils, notebook paper, red pens, highlighters, specifically when we're highlighting text. These are the ones that we use: pink, blue, green, and yellow. And it's important that you have these supplies because with COVID, we're not sharing supplies, so that we can limit having to stop and disinfect everything every period. If you don't have the supplies, just speak to me privately. and we'll see what we can do to take care of that. Collaborative group work is something we always do. It's just going to look a little different when we're working together and collaborating and sharing our ideas. But during collaborative groups, we are respectful. Everyone needs to participate. Everyone will have a role. And group work is a privilege that can be lost when it is being abused and not used for learning. So please, it is such a great tool for us to be able to discuss and do so much work together, even though we're going to have to do it at a distance. So we'll just see how that works this year. Remote students, there still will be collaborative work going on where we can do things online through Google Classroom. Emails. So this is how your teachers, your counselors, the school will be communicating with your email, specifically your Bronco mail. Please do not use your personal email, only use your Bronco mail. For example, counselors will send you a pass to the counselor's office if you request to see that, and it comes through your Bronco mail. So you'll need to be able to check that. You need to check your mail every day. I highly recommend that you download an email app on your device if you have a phone so that you can easily access it. Only, like I said, use your Bronco mail to communicate with teachers, counselors, any school personnel. Google Sites is where we saw the English 1 teachers have created a English 1 Google site where you can find a list of supplies and the expectations. We've also concluded our own individual one, which is the one I took you to at the beginning of this video. And this is where you will see the materials, the slides, the resources used for learning that day. If you're absent, Google Site will be the place to go to find makeup work as well. Google Classroom, this is actually the place you need to start first. Always go first here to get any links, and I will take you straight to the Google site. Here's where you will need to go back to complete assignments. I will be communicating with you through the stream. You can also communicate to me through assignments. Say if you're on the warm-up and you're having a problem with it, you can send a comment and message to me right there, and I can respond back to it. Make sure when you're doing your Google Classroom that when you sign up for it, that you are using your Bronco mail to log in. And all you have to do once you're in Google Classroom is click the plus sign and enter the class code. I emailed those out earlier this week, but here they are again. So find your class period and go ahead and you can sign up for Google Classroom. Remind is something else that's very helpful for students for getting those little reminders of what to do, any kind of information that I feel that you need to know, I will send it out, and you can also message me back directly. Nobody else sees it. It just comes straight to me, and I can respond back to your message, your questions. Parents are also encouraged to sign up for this Remind. There's just one Remind code. Everybody in pre-AP, my pre-AP English will be signed up for this. Okay, so that is the end of the slide. I need for the remote students to go to Google Classroom. There is a short little Google Form quiz that's going to just test you over your knowledge and test and see how well you read and paid attention to these slides. You can always go back to the slides and look at those to help you if you're unsure of an answer. If you have any problems, please let me know. I hope you're having a great first day and welcome to high school.